Yeah, where is that based out of?
It's around Schaumburg and Palestine. So
Not Palestine, it's actually Palatine, but that's all right. We'll edit that part out. Yeah, you weren't going all the way to Palestine to play soccer, my friend. Yeah. All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of our SportsLit cast, and I'm here today with my new friend. We just met 15 minutes ago, Gallie Figueroa. I'm excited to have you here.
thank you.
All right, man. We're going to talk a little bit about soccer today. You said you're a senior, correct?
Yes.
All right, and you've played soccer at Revis all 4 years?
Yes, sir, since freshman.
All right, so you were a freshman on the varsity squad, and you've been there all 4 years.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about the soccer program at Revis?
Yeah, so my freshman year, I just felt like we were a little bit, like the team was a little bit distracting. We weren't that good. We ended the year, I think, 6-12. And so, yeah, freshman year, it kind of a bad experience. I played a lot, though. I started every single game. I basically played every single minute. And then we were going on to sophomore year, which actually was the best. Coming from a worst season to probably the best. We went 14-4. We had a guy named Ahmed, All-State, All-Midwest.
I remember Ahmed, one of the best offensive players I've ever seen play at that age, right?
Yeah, he was really good. That was actually a great year. A regional match, we did go out to Winnie Young, but Winnie Young went on to, I think, super sectionals that year. So they were pretty good that year. So junior year, it was really disappointing. I felt we had a really good season. We were beating a lot of good teams, and then just in playoffs, man, like we lost to Curie 2-0. We really shouldn't have lost that game. I feel like we could have went far that year as well. So it was a heartbreaker. And I was with all my friends, all of my seniors. Like it was just sad.
You know, soccer is kind of a weird sport like that because no matter what the rankings are, no matter how good you are, how good you feel, you play the game and anything can happen in a game because we had a similar thing happen my son's senior year at Sandburg. We were just beating everybody. And we went on to the sectional final or regional final. I think it was the regional final. And we lost to Shepherd, who we had beaten every time we play them in the regular season by 3 or 4 goals. And we ended up getting whooped by Shepherd.
I think I remember that.
And it stung a little bit because my nephew was on that team and it was just kind of like, I know that we were better than you guys. And no offense to my friends at Shepherd. You guys are all good, but that still hurts. It still stings. So I know what you mean.
It's like any game you could lose. If you don't focus for the entire 80 minutes that you play, you could definitely lose any game.
That's the truth, man. And then, you know, there's games in soccer where it's just such a grind and there's no goals and then it goes to penalty kicks. And when it goes to penalty kicks, it's anybody's game. There's no way to know that the best team doesn't always win when it goes to penalty kicks.
For sure. Going on to this year, this really young team full of sophomores, juniors. But one thing I could really say about this team, one of the most humble, mature groups I've ever been with. They're all super young, but yet they're like the most mature team I've been on. So I got to give it to them.
It's weird how that happens. You know, every year is its own unique thing. And, you know, you've had an opportunity. You said that, you know, your freshman year, the team wasn't very good. And that is really what gave you the opportunity to really work on your game and experience varsity level sports for 4 years. That's a huge thing for you moving forward, right? That probably made you a better player.
It did for sure. After my freshman year, I really focused on the physicality of the game because I realized like I need to get bigger. I just need to get faster because these guys are huge. I just wanted to elevate my game to I just played faster and I just developed to the physicality. Yeah,
that's a big part of it. I think it becomes a little bit less about your skill in a sport. It really comes down to there's a separation after high school with who has the physicality, who has the, you know, the strength and the speed to be a college level player.
Yeah.
There are a lot of really good players, but there's just some that are just not going to be able to mix it up with people because, like you said, people are getting so fast and so strong that no matter how good you are, how skilled you are, you know, you get cracked out there. The game moves very fast.
That's very true, yeah.
You're looking into continuing your career. You want to try to play after high school. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that experience and where you are right now in that process?
Yeah, so where this is coming from is like my family, you know, not many of them went to college, so I just kind of wanted to be like kind of the first one. And I have an opportunity, obviously, to get a scholarship by playing a sport. So obviously, I wanted to give it my all. So I'm doing as much as I can, emailing coaches. So where I'm at right now is I'm just kind of talking to a couple colleges: Augustana, St. Xavier, Chicago State, and Lewis. I kind of wanted to stay a little bit local, stay close to home. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, so emailing coaches, reaching out to them, and then you have put together your own film. Have you been sending that out to different schools?
Yeah, I took my film from club soccer, and then obviously all 3 years from high school, and I put it all into one tape. I just been trying to send it to as much coaches. I had Coach Kinetic and Coach Conrad help me set up an email format, so I had everything that needed to be said in the email.
Yeah, that's a huge thing that I think is maybe a lot of young athletes don't know this, or you don't have somebody that's going to go out and advocate for you. You don't have a coach, or you don't have, your parents are not experienced with that sort of thing. But emailing coaches, there's so much information out there that you need to research on your own, to look into. There's a lot of videos like, you need to put this into an email. You need to avoid this. You need to make it this length. You need to make it sound like this. Those are all things that are really important, because a lot of the recruiting is actually done online now. I would almost venture to say 90% of the recruiting is done online. There aren't scouts really that are going out to see. That happens, but not very often.
Yeah.
So that is sort of your first line into these schools, is through email. Where did you play club soccer?
I played club soccer at Soccer's FC. I've been there since after freshman year, actually. So I went over there to the Soccer's FC. They just made me so much better. Like, trainings and everything is just so much more competitive. And I feel like I ultimately made the right choice in going. So, yeah.
Yeah, where is that based out of?
It's around Schaumburg and Palestine. So
not Palestine, it's actually Palatine, but that's all right. We'll edit that part out. Yeah, you weren't going all the way to Palestine to play soccer, my friend. Yeah. No, so Schaumburg in the Palatine area, and then you were in the Schaumburg League right off of the expressway there. Is that where you played your games?
For our league, we played in the league called MPO.
Yeah.
At Olympic Park.
That's a super competitive league, yeah.
And then we were also introduced to this new league, NAL. It's they just brought it in. A lot of competitive teams playing there. And yeah, it's just a great experience. So
why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience over the 4 years playing here, playing soccer at Revis. Tell us a little bit about the coaching.
The coaching overall, I can say truthfully from the bottom of my heart, really good, because these two guys, Conrad and Ganatic, they care so much about the sport and they care so much about the team. And every year they tell us kind of the same thing. We get the same message. It's like, do your job. Do what's asked of you in your position, and we will win games. And we just gotta. What I think the team has been missing for the past 3 years is like that drive and that focus every single game. Not just the games that we want to pick and the games that we think are easy. It gotta be every single game. We gotta come out like we're playing one of the best teams in the state every game.
Yeah, I mean that's true, because there is something to be said about when you're playing a competitive sport. Sometimes you'll play up to your competition, but the same thing happens. You can play down to your competition as well. So if you guys probably noticed, some of the games that you lost, as you were saying, you lost a heartbreaker in the playoffs to a team that that you should have beat, right? Mm-hmm. But you come in and you kind of overlook that. You're looking past it. You're not ready. You guys are not dialed in. You're not focused, and it just gets away from you. And soccer is a funny sport like that. It could happen.
Exactly. Another thing I could say about the coaching, these guys care about everybody. They check in at everybody. They do weekly grade checks, obviously. And if somebody's not unhappy, obviously you're going to talk to them. So that's one thing I could really say about these guys. They actually care about everybody on the team, and they cared about all the team success and everything. So, yeah.
Yeah, and there's something to be said too. You've got lucky, right? Because you just landed here. You're in this community. You're going to go to high school here. These are the coaches that you inherited. You guys are lucky that you have a couple of guys that are so passionate about the sport, and they care about the players. And I've seen it because I've known these guys I've been here for a long time, so I've known them, and it is really you guys are lucky that you have a couple coaches that are that invested in what you're doing. Gallie, tell me a little bit about your individual accomplishments over the last 4 years of playing soccer here at Revis.
Oh yeah, so I'll start with freshman year. I didn't really win anything, but individually, I think I record about 10 assists that year. So that was really I actually didn't score a goal freshman year, but I assisted 10.
I'm going to tell you something, another side note, and you're going to continue with your accomplishments. My father-in-law was a professional soccer player. He came to America from Greece through Canada. He played professionally in Canada. And so he was always he passed away a few years ago, but he was always really involved in my kids playing soccer because that was his thing, right? He took that very seriously. He was a professional player and a coach way back in the day. And he would tell them an assist is better than a goal. I don't know why that it was to him, but he said it doesn't feel better, but an assist is better than a goal because you're playing as a team. And when you're the one that is creating the goal, that's more important. He would call the dummy that knocked it in just the dummy that knocked it in. He would say the guy that set it up and put that guy in a position to score the goal was the real MVP. So there you go. There you could feel better about not scoring a goal.
Yeah, now I do.
All right, so you 11 assists your freshman year.
And then we went on to next year, sophomore year, all sectional, all conference, and I record 10 goals, 10 assists that year. So I had a way better year scoring. And
Nice.
But I feel like I just had a more overall, I just needed to be better offensively for the team. And obviously that was our best year. So I just feel like I had a lot of success in playing with the team also.
Now you said that sophomore year was your best, the team's best year, and it was your best year?
I would say the team's best year, but for me, I actually feel like this current year I'm in is my best year.
Well, I mean, you're a senior this year, so obviously that's the case. But you remember how you said that your sophomore year, the team was really good. And I've always said it's a lot easier to look good when you're playing with good supporting cast, right? When everybody's good, it's almost like even if you make a mistake, it's not as crucial, right? And there's a lot of pressure when you're the guy. You're the one guy. Like imagine you're on a bad team and you're the only guy. You're the only hope. It's tough. It's tough to play the game that way. So this year, how are you looking so far this year?
My stats are looking pretty good this year. I think I have about 14 goals already, and I'm at 7 assists. So individually, I've been really good this season, and I just feel like all of it is deserved because I worked like crazy this off season, and I just been at it every single day. Yeah,
I think that's an important thing to say too. Talent takes you a certain distance, but when guys are going to outwork the competition, those are the guys that are going to keep going and are going to keep rising to the top. It's talent's great in the beginning, but you got to outwork them. And it seems like you're really dedicated to your sport. You don't take it lightly. You're probably you're training all the time. You're eating right. You're taking care of yourself.
For sure.
Getting enough rest. I mean, that's all good stuff. All right, how about the rest of the season for the Rams? What's our outlook moving forward? I know that you guys have kind of been up and down. It's been a bit of a roller coaster in terms of games and records and wins and losses. So what are we looking at there?
Yeah, so today, actually, we're trying to win the outright conference championship against Oakland today. So they're actually pretty good this season, so I'll give them that. But we're 7-0 in conference, so obviously we're trying to win the outright, and that's what we got. And then the playoff seeding has actually just came out, so we know we're the 7th seed. We know we're playing Jones College Prep in the first round, and then we're in the St. Lawrence regional. So if St. Lawrence wins their game and we win the game, then we'll play St. Lawrence for the regional final at St. Lawrence.
Okay, and then when does that start? When are we looking to get the playoffs going?
Somewhere around October 20. I think you said October 21st.
So we got a ways still.
Yeah,
we got a bunch of games. We still got to stay healthy. We got to stay on track. We got to win the game we have today.
Yeah.
And then we'll think about tomorrow. So yeah, don't be looking too far ahead. We know how that bites you.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks to my new friend Gallie Figueroa, and good luck to the Rams soccer program moving forward. And good luck to you, my friend. I hope to follow your college career down the road.
Yes, sir. For sure. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, take care, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.